Welcome to Carlton's Math Corner. Today we are going to be discussing relative frequency. At this time, please make sure that you have your math journal as well as your vocabulary packet. Our target today is I can find the relative frequency of an event. Now, relative frequency is how often something happens divided by all the other outcomes. And so it's another term that describes kind of experimental probability. And we just got done watching a video on experimental probability, and it's very similar to that. For instance, if I have the number of dice rolled, or I roll some dice, I should say, and out of those number of dice, I wanted to get a sum of 12. Well, out of 50 times I rolled it, I got a 35. 35 times I got a sum of 12, which is really good. Like normally I never get double sixes, and I just was very lucky that time. Out of 40 times, because I rolled it again, I got 12 times. I got a sum of 12. 11 out of 30 times, and 2 out of 24 times. And what I want you to notice is you see this word frequency. Frequency just means how many times did something occur. And that's why I'm putting numbers here of how many times I got a sum of 12. Now, relative frequency basically means what is the experimental probability of me getting a sum of 12 out of the number of times I rolled the dice. And we just finished a video on experimental probability. And so what we did, remember, we took how many times it occurred out of the total number of times that we did the experiment. And so if I do 35 divided by 50, I get 0.7. And what I'm trying to do though is I'm looking for the one that has a relative frequency of 0.083. Now I've started off dividing these. I did 12 divided by 40. 12 over 40 is 0.3. 11 over 30 is 0.36. I'm hoping that this one's right because this is the only one I have left. And if I do 2 divided by 24, yay, I get the right answer. I was getting a little worried that I had a misprint, but it worked out. And so, undo. I knew I wouldn't be able to put that in there. So we're just going to say that it worked out. And I'll see if I can put it in here, but I don't think so. Oh, I can. Yay. Okay, so it looks like 2 out of 24 times. Okay, for our next problem, it looks like we're looking at age of people, and it looks like a survey. So they did a survey and they tried to figure out how many people are, own a cell phone within these age groups. Okay? And so they surveyed even young children all the way up to 41 years old. Okay? And so they surveyed, this is how many people, that's our frequency. And so our job is to figure out what's the relative frequency between 6 and 11 years old and 24 and 29 years old. And so in order to do that, what we need to do is look at how many times it occurred out of the total number of people that they surveyed. Well, if you look at this total at the bottom, it actually gives you a total of 100, and that's the number of people that were surveyed. So if I take 6 divided by 100, that would tell me my relative frequency as a decimal, and it would be 0.06. Then for my age group of 24 through 29, I can take the number of people that were found as 17 out of 100. And if I divide those, I can just move my decimal 2 places to the left. Kind of what happened, that's what happened with this answer above, and I get 0.17. And so those would be my 2 answers for that. For tomorrow, will you please complete the following blanks? Will you find the relative frequency for MBAs and master's degrees? Thank you so much for joining me at Carlton's Math Corner, and I look forward to meeting with you again.